welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Lauri Albert. I'm your host, medium and intuitive Lauri Albert. Spiritually Speaking is an interactive, intuitive conversation that embraces all things spiritual. Each week we discuss different spiritual or life topics. I have guests and I take calls on the spirit line for viewers to be part of the conversation or to receive a reading. And the number is below. So we're not going to take calls just yet, though, because I have a couple things I want to talk about. I am super excited, have to tell you, because all my technical issues seem to have worked itself out. And, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, it all happened before Mercury went into retrograde. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited that makes me because, you know, if any of you know me at all, or if you've watched any other previous videos when Mercury's in retrograde, you just got to prepare for the worst, right? You'd be happy for what's going on, but you prepare for the worst. But at any rate, so I'm happy to be with you today. We are streaming live on Facebook and live on YouTube, but the show will be on YouTube. You can go back and listen to it later. So that's exciting. I'm really happy. Yay! Happy times. This is only my 15th show and I finally got it down. So it's really exciting. So I wanted to share with you all a couple little things. I'm super excited to have what I call spiritually in the news, but it's really, I shouldn't say but it's really like good news stories, right? So I wanted to share a couple of things with you guys today because I am heartened. You know what? We had another terror attack in Northern California today, and it's terrible. I'm so done, right? I'm just done with it, right? So I'm happy to say, and you know, my heart does go out to everybody affected, and that goes, I should say it goes without saying, but God, I hate to say that too, you know, but at any rate, my heart goes out to anybody affected. If you live up there and you're affected, I'm very sorry for everything that you're having to go through. I'm very sorry for everything that everybody that has been affected by any of these terrorist attacks is having to go through. So that being said, I just can't talk about it anymore because I'm just, you know, it's just horrible, right? So at any rate, let's get on to a couple of good news stories. Yay. Okay. So this first one, I'm going to do a couple, but they're little and they're short. So you can call in later. Don't worry. I'm going to open up the phone lines and we're going to do readings. I promise, right? Okay. So first good news story for the day. In April of 2015, Dan Price, who is the CEO of a Seattle-based tech company called Gravity Payments, did something with barely any precedent in the modern business world. He gave away 90% of his own pay to raise the salaries of his employees to a minimum of $70,000 per year. That is just amazing. Price's decision came after reading a study from Princeton University, which found that emotional well-being rises with income up to a cutoff point of $75,000. After which extra pay has no effect on happiness. At first, Price struggled to make the numbers work, but after a while, he realized that by cutting his own pay and using some company profits, he could afford it. I mean, seriously, that is such a great news story because you know what? Those people that work there are going to value their jobs. They're going to value this guy who was thinking about him. You know what I mean? They were thinking about them, you know? So I love that. Someone gets the human need and is empathic. And I love that. I just think that's fantastic. So anyway, so there was another good news story out today. Well, it's sort of good news, but not good news, right, at the same time. And this came out today. So you probably haven't heard this one. You might have heard that last one. But this woman, she was diagnosed with cancer. And she had started the treatment for it. And I don't know what kind of cancer it was. Actually, I think it was like cervical cancer or something like that. Something really bad, obviously. Well, no cancer is good, right? She started running low on money. And her ex-husband's wife, who was like stepmother to her children, set up a funding campaign. And they are working together as a family to pay for her treatment. Now, you know what? That is something amazing. I mean, with all of the people out there talking about all these really bad things and these horrible things happening, I have to tell you, that is such a good news story. And you know what? We should all have, like I said before, empathy for each other. And I think that is just so amazing, right? And it's interesting, the theme, empathy for each other. So anyway, and then another thing came out just today, which I was blown away by. This is like, God, this is amazing. Bill Gates is donating $100 million for Alzheimer's research. $100 million, right? For research, right? That's amazing. You know, somebody in his family, I believe, or Alzheimer's disease runs in his family, something along those lines. And so that's him giving back. God. Now that, can you imagine if some of these billionaires stepped up to the plate for all these different things? Can you imagine where we'd be as a society? I just thought that was like really, really fantastic. So I was really excited about that. So that is my spiritually in the news segment. So, okay. So also, I want to talk about, dare I say it, Mercury's going into retrograde. Again, yes. Okay, so here's the deal. It doesn't go into Mercury until, it doesn't go into retrograde until December 3rd. And then it stays in retrograde until the 23rd. However, here is the deal with this, okay? The deal with this is, starting today is when things start getting a little bit weird, right? Like you're on the freeway or you're on the road and people start driving crazy in through traffic and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? That already happened to me today. I don't know about you guys, but that already happened to me. Also, you know, just like your patience is going to be just a little bit not so great, right? So we have to just consider all of those things, right? This is what I talk about when Mercury's in retrograde. It's not a matter, and I talk about this all the time because people come up to me all the time. When Mercury's in retrograde or about to go in or coming out or whatever, people end up coming to me and saying, Lauri, what is going on with the, like, and I don't know, I am not an astrologer. God, I always get that wrong. I'm not. However, I do know about Mercury being in retrograde. And I know that if we practice our 3 P's, patience, persistence, and positivity, right? Then we will get through it. Here's the thing. Patience is freaking key. Patience is key because when those people start going through traffic like that, and they, like my husband, just saying, I don't know if he's listening or not, but just saying, when those people start going through there like that, and, you know, or when somebody cuts in front of you in the grocery store line, or, you know, those types of things, just have patience. Are you really in that much of a hurry that the person can't go in front of you in the grocery store? You know, I mean, it's supposed to be the happy time of year, right? The grateful time, right? So let's just go through this with a little bit of patience, right? So there you go. So anyway, so then it ends on December 23rd, which is great. You think, oh, it's out right before Christmas, but things get a little weird. So here's the deal. Check your travel plans. Check and double check and triple check your travel plans. Check anything that you're doing. Like I'm actually going out of town and in the beginning of December, and I'm just like, I'm a maniac about double checking because you know what? It doesn't hurt to double check stuff. It really doesn't. So that being said, there you go. Okay, and then I want to read Christopher Renstrom, rulingplanets.com, the astrological forecast for the week. This is for everybody. This is like a general forecast for everybody. And it's kind of interesting this week. So, and really interesting. You may regret having given your word so blithely when Mars in Libra forms a square to Pluto in Capricorn on November 19th. Okay? November 19th. Libra is in the zodiac sign of pledges and agreements. If you sign your name to something, then you are expected to deliver. No ifs, ands, or buts. Not only do you not have the option of opting out, but you will be forced to honor this obligation to the letter. It's clear from present circumstances that this is not what you that you signed on for initially, and had you known then what you know now, you never would have agreed. Nevertheless, you must bow to authority. Not a pleasant experience, but an educational one. In the future, you will certainly pick over the details, wording, and clauses in a contract before you ever sign something like that again. Now, that's the reality, is that right now, so just be aware. What is today? Today is the 14th. So in the next couple of days, just be really careful what you sign, right? Careful what you sign, what you look for, whatever. So at any rate, yeah, so that was kind of interesting. I thought, oh, okay, that's something good that we want everybody to know, right? So be aware. Okay, so before I open the phone lines, which will be in about 10 minutes, 818-835-5885. What I want to do first is I'd like to lead us in a relatively short meditation. With everything happening in the world today and everything that's been going on, you know what? I thought we need to breathe in. We need to channel some patience and love and that sort of thing. So I figured let's do this little meditation and all be in the same space together. Okay. So if you'd like, please join me. Take a couple deep breaths. So we want to breathe in and breathe out. Take another deep breath in and breathe in peace and joy and love. And then breathe out negativity and your stress of the day and any worries that you might have. Breathe out. Let's take one more good, strong, deep breath in. Breathe in all that love out there in the world and breathe out. So I want us to focus on the heart chakra. So just imagine right here, right where your heart is, your heart chakra. It's green. And let's just imagine opening up our heart chakra. And imagine the room filling up with that beautiful, most beautiful green color, that emerald green. And I want you to imagine with that green is love. If you could see love as the color green, love and self-love and confidence, just imagine the room filling up with that amazing green love color. Now imagine that love green color surrounding you as a person. All around you is that beautiful green love. And then filling up the room with amazing green love and peace and self-love and confidence. And now fill up the house where you are, all the rooms. Just imagine that green love going all over to all the rooms, penetrating every inch of your house. And extend that out to your block, all your neighborhood, your neighbors. And now extend that even further to your city, your entire city. Imagine that beautiful blanket of love and confidence and peace. Imagine that just blanketing your city. And then further out, go to your state. Imagine whatever state you're in. Imagine that beautiful green love is penetrating every single person in your state. And then your country. whatever country you're in, imagine a big, beautiful blanket of love and peace going out to every single person in the country. Sending love to your family, to your friends, wherever they may be, co-workers, neighbors. And now imagine that blanket of love going all through the world, all over the world. Just expand that love out to the entire world. Sending love to our political leaders, to our spiritual leaders, to all the international communities, and everybody you know. Leaders around the world that may not even understand what unconditional love or love is or peace is. Imagine peace and love blanketing everybody, every single person, no matter what country, no matter what government leader, no matter who they are. It's all unconditional love. And go ahead and open your eyes whenever you're ready. How did that feel? Did you guys like that? Oh my gosh. You know, I was thinking of possibly doing I know I've said this before, but possibly doing a meditation on Sunday mornings or something. Would that be fun? Would you guys like that? So, text me or whatever and let me know if that sounds good to you. Yeah, so that would be fun. Anyway, so, okay, the phone lines are open if you'd like to call in for a reading. My phone number is 818-835-5885. And if you'd like a reading or if you have a question about what I do or anything like that, please feel free to call in. Yay! What I figured I would talk about tonight is, what is it like to be a medium? People ask me that. That's like the first question that people ask me. What is it like to be a medium? And that sounds kind of like a blanket question, like, what is it like? Well, what is it like to be blonde? Or what is it like to, you know what I mean? It's like, that's kind of a blanket question. However, it is really interesting because, you have to be, and I actually appreciate the question. Because somebody asked me at one time, a long time ago, and I thought, what do you mean by that? Then I thought, you know what? If somebody's asking me that question, they need to know, because you need to know who I am before you trust me with allowing your loved ones to come through. I appreciate when people call in for a reading that, you guys trust me. And we already have a caller, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. Hi there, you're live on the air with Lauri. Who am I speaking to?
Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. What can I do for you tonight?
Good. Oh, I'd like to have a reading.
Oh, yay. You know what? All day today, I was like, I really hope a lot of people call because I'm really excited about giving a reading. So that's great. Thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is there somebody specifically that you're interested in hearing from?
My mom or dad.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so, ooh, wow. Big energy, big. Wow, I'm like dizzy energy. That's big. Okay, so I'm feeling like, okay, when you said your mom and your dad, they both sort of stepped forward. I am super dizzy right now. Oh my God. That's great. No, that's good. Trust me, that's really good because that means that their energy is really strong. So I actually see your mom and what I believe is your mom and your father coming forward. Was your mom like sort of outgoing and fun and happy?
Yes.
Okay. That's who, okay, so I feel like that, yeah, and I feel like that she's got her hair up kind of like mine, like just sort of up in the back. Did she wear her hair up?
No.
No?
Uh-uh.
Okay. I wonder why I'm
No.
seeing that. Well, was it shorter anyway? Was it sort of shorter hair?
Yes, it was shorter,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so maybe I'm just sort of seeing it shorter.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like that your dad was more, I feel like that your dad is coming forward and he is more of like, I don't want to say subdued, but he's more, like your mom was sort of more outspoken than your dad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay. They're both lovely people, by the way. Their energy is really good. And I'm seeing them together, so I feel like that they were still they were really in love. Like there was no divorce or no separation there. Were they each other's true love kind of thing?
Yeah, they were together, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yep.
so great. I love that. Because when they come through together like that, I can just feel that love, you know. It might have to do with the meditation I just led as well, but you know,
Right.
but I just feel this like love. And your mom and your dad are both have these big, huge smiles on their faces. I'm seeing, and I'm seeing that your mom. I don't know, this may be because your mom is more outspoken, but I feel like that your father is a little bit shorter maybe than your mom, or maybe they're about the same height. But do you know that?
My dad was a lot taller than my mom. My
Oh,
dad was
really?
over 6
Okay.
foot.
Then the
Yeah.
reason why they're showing me that, I have a feeling then, is because your mom is a little bit more outspoken than your dad. So I think that's what that's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so she's coming through, and she's like, your dad is here, wants you to know that, but your mom, I feel like she's the one that wants to talk. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, let me get something good going on with what she wants to say. She is just, you've weathered some storms, is what she's saying. You've weathered some storms, and she is super proud of that. That because she's actually sort of patting herself on the back, and she's saying, she's like, I taught her well. Yeah. So, do you know what she's talking about? Do you understand what she means by weathering
Yes.
storms? Okay. So
Yeah.
she's acknowledging then, okay, that she has watched what has been going on with you, and she's really, really proud of the fact that that you've weathered the storms, and you've maintained. She's talking about you maintained the right attitude, like the attitude that you took with whatever these situations were, big or small, whatever. You maintain the right attitude, and she's like sort of like, I really taught her that, or maybe it wasn't that she actually officially sort of said these things out loud, but you saw how she handled things, and so she's really proud of
Yeah.
that. She's talking about how you are a lot like her. So would you say you're a lot like your mom?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
we were best friends. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah. So she is with you. She's showing me a little girl. For some reason, I'm feeling like it's not you. There's a little girl. I don't know if it's like, I don't know anything about you. I don't know how old you are. I don't want to insult you, but do you have like a granddaughter or something, or a daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a daughter and a granddaughter.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I have a daughter and a granddaughter.
Oh, okay. Now, which one of those has sort of longer brown hair? Not really long brown hair, but brown hair, and maybe there.
One granddaughter has brown hair.
Okay. So she's highlighting the granddaughter with brown hair, and she wants me to be really, really clear in that it's not like she's like, I only love that granddaughter. Okay, so don't think that. Okay. Here I got to. So yeah, make sure you realize that. But what she's highlighting that specific granddaughter, because I think that granddaughter might need a little bit of extra attention right now. She's just, wants you to know that maybe if you could give that granddaughter a little bit more attention. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see her as a little girl. Is she like, I don't want to say baby, but maybe like toddler age?
She's 4.
She's 4. Okay. I was thinking 3. Well, I got to give myself a little bit of slack, I guess. But just she's adorable, and I see her. She's kind of like shy. Well, of course, all kids are kind of shy sometimes, but I feel like she's doing this. The granddaughter. I'm just tapping into her energy. It doesn't obviously she's here, but so yeah, your mother is showing me that, and she's just said to me, you know the right thing to do. You know what you need to do. So there you go. Okay, so let's see what else. Does she have anything else to say? Oh, she is a lovely, lovely lady. I feel like that she was kind of happy-go-lucky right up until the end, your mother. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was, yes.
Yeah, she's actually calming me down because I always get hyper and excited to do the show. So I feel like that she's sort of happy-go-lucky and she's calming me down. You know what I mean? So she's just a lovely, lovely lady. Let's see. Is she from, or did she live in like the Midwest? I'm seeing flat. I'm seeing like flatland.
Yes.
Okay. So she's just showing me that. I think she's just giving me validation so that you know for sure that it's actually her. So yeah, she's showing me the flatland, and yeah, they just love you so much. They're very, very proud of you, and your dad is there. He's just, and to be honest, they're holding hands. I think that's so cute. I'm seeing them holding hands. So I'll just give you that. So that's fantastic. That's great.
They had a rough time of it at the very end because my dad got dementia and my mom was battling cancer. So
oh wow.
Yeah, they had a rough end. Yeah.
I feel like she maintained her like good attitude though.
Yeah, she fought for 2 years.
Yeah, she tried. And then, you know what she's saying to me? She's like, I knew what was going to be happening. She's like, at one point, I just kind of knew. And then I was like, okay with it. She's like, you know what? What else am I going to do? There's no other options. So, so I might as well be okay with it. I like that attitude. That's kind of neat,
Yeah.
So, great lady. Yeah. So, cool. Well, thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it. Your family is love you. And please know that you are loved. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye-bye. Aw, I love when people come through that are just nice like that. That's just so sweet. So adorable. Yeah, so I like, especially when couples come together like that. So, at any rate, so yeah, so, and I really appreciate, Kathy, I really appreciate you calling, and I should have said this while you're on the phone, but thank you for like trusting me with your parents. That's a trust that I don't take lightly. I am just so proud that I do what I do, and that I this is going to sound kind of strange, but I attract people like you, Kathy, to me because your sort of motives are pure as well as mine. And I just think that's really important. And that's kind of one of the points I wanted to make today was if you're ever thinking about going to a medium or a psychic or something, just, feel like, make sure that you know exactly who you're going to. Like, feel good with that person. Because if you just go to any Joe Schmo on the street, that, you gotta have some sort of connection, whether it's that person, somebody knows that person, or if it's somebody that you just feel like you connect with. Like, a lot of people connect with, like, emotionally with Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, because she is so relatable, and she's awesome, right? So you just feel like you can relate to her. So but there are a lot of mediums out there. And you know what? I am the type of person, and I've said this before, I will say this again. I don't feel like that there is any, or there should be any competition between mediums. Because if you, as the person that wants to come to a medium, feels comfortable with me, then great, come to me. If you feel comfortable with somebody else, then go to somebody else. Because that's just all, you need to feel comfortable. You need, there's an element of trust. Trust is the sort of the golden line that goes through the entire thing. So yeah, I'll just tell you that. And the other thing is too, regarding that, is that every medium works differently than every other medium. So, yeah, every medium works completely different than another. I know, obviously, a ton of mediums, and we all have our own way of connecting. We have our own way of giving readings. Actually, our spirit guides, I believe, work with us differently because I have some friends that give a lot of messages, and I tend to do validation stuff and messages, a little bit of validation, a little bit of message kind of thing. But I also feel like that, some people, and I know some people that just do validation, like she had these red shoes that she wore until the day she died kind of thing, that sort of thing. And, actually a lot of English mediums are like that. A lot of English mediums just do validation because the reality is that, and I believe this to be true, the British mediums that I know of, they just, they think, okay, so I just want you to be aware that your loved one is here. And that's all you really want, unless you want to know anything specific. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of interesting. So yeah, a lot of the British mediums are just about validation. However, I know so many American mediums that do the messages like I talked about. I prefer to do both because I want you, as the person sitting on the other side, to be really sure that that's your mother. Or your mother and your father standing there together, So yeah, the way I choose to work is that I call in, I open up my chakras, I call in my spirit guides, call in Archangel Michael, and all, Jesus, Mary, and Saint Teresa are my special people. And you don't need to have a religious affiliation for that. That's just my thing. Some people are more spiritual than other people, and they're not. Some aren't. So there you go. So the phone lines are open if you'd like to call. 818-835-5885. Oh, and how perfect. We have a caller already. So there you go. Hi there. You are live on the air with Lauri. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Tina.
Hey, Tina. You're like my new best friend.
Hey, I wanted to call because last time you gave me a reading and you said that it ended up coming up that I don't talk to my sister that much anymore. My grandpap was saying he's okay with it and that,
right,
it will heal over time with love or whatever.
Yeah.
So I wanted to say that, this week, my niece, I was watching her for a little bit at my mom's house, and then my sister came to pick her up, and then my niece, she likes to play with the phone and take pictures and videos. Well, out of nowhere, my sister is asking her questions. Did you go potty? All that stuff. She goes, right. Why don't you ask TT? She's the one that watched me. She kept saying questions, answers like that to my sister.
Oh, boy.
And then she took my phone and was trying to tell me to go sit over near my sister to take pictures, which she never does. Take pictures with all of us. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, wow. You know what? I really feel like that was your grandfather sort of nudging your niece to help heal. Oh, my gosh. What a great story. Oh, my gosh. So how are things today? How are things?
I mean, we don't really talk, but that was weird. We were kind of we could be in the same room. My niece doesn't know we don't talk.
Right.
But obviously that showed us that, I don't know, it'll get there eventually. But I wanted to call and say that.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was funny.
Oh, wow. That's hysterical, It's I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, little kids are so aware. They're so aware. Mm-hmm. I don't know, how old is your niece?
She's 4.
She's 4. Oh, that's exactly the perfect age for that too.
Mm-hmm.
Little ones are really, really aware, and we don't necessarily see it, because we grow up and we learn to either embrace it or not embrace it or be scared of it or, whatever mm-hmm. we are about it. But little mm-hmm. ones, they just don't know any better. So, they're just more easily influenced and stuff, So I mm-hmm. love that. What a great story. Oh my gosh. So thank you so much for calling me and letting me know. Appreciate it.
Well, No
Great.
problem.
Thanks so much. And I will talk to you soon, hopefully.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, that's great. What a great story, I'm talking in my Pittsburghese. See, when people call me from Pittsburgh, I'm from near Pittsburgh, right? So that accent starts coming back. That's great, right? So at any rate, yeah, so I love it, when you're aware, when you are aware of what's going on, it becomes more clear as to, the influence that spirit can have. I think that's great. That was really cool. Great story. So, yeah. So, and little ones know, yeah. And, if I believe that my daughter is watching, so I'm not going to tell you her story because she'll yell at me or call me worse yet, call me on the phone here and yell at me. So we don't want to do that. However, I will tell you that she had stuff going on from little. So that's the way it goes, That's the way it is. So a lot of fun. So the other aspect, or another aspect, I guess I should say, that is something that's, I don't want to say unique to me, but something that I am that, some mediums are, some psychics are, but some aren't, is empathic. And what empathic is that our energy, my energy, I'll use me as the example because it's not all mediums, right? Some mediums just click in and click out. Boom, and that's great. That works for them. That's great. You need to figure out your own way to maneuver through, right? But for me, I tend to sit back into the energy for a minute. And what I'll do is I'll take on sort of sometimes the personality of a spirit, or I will feel the emotions of a spirit, or I will feel physical ailments. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is a crazy story, right? So last Saturday, actually, I was giving a reading, and I did it it was later on Saturday morning. So I got up early and I went to the grocery store, right? As I'm in the grocery store, all of a sudden I could feel a huge pain in my back, right where your lung is. And I could not get a deep breath. And so I'm just oh my gosh. And I'm just oh, is something wrong? And when you're an empath, you learn over time how to distinguish, is this a spirit or is this me? Because I'll tell you, if I had all of the ailments that I've been sort of made to realize over the years, it'd be pretty bad. But at any rate, so yeah, I couldn't get a deep breath, and I was oh, and I had this really bad pain in my back, and yeah, right where your lungs are, and it was bad, right? So I came home, and I'm just talking to my husband. I could barely move, and of course I used that excuse for him to bring in the grocery bags and all that kind of stuff. So, it was what it was. But at any rate, so I start doing the reading, and immediately I said to the lady, I said, okay, so I really have somebody here that has some sort of lung something going on because I cannot get a full-on breath, right? And so she validated who it was, and I won't get into the story, but, validated who it was. Yes, they had a lung ailment, and that was, at least partially how they crossed over, and it was a horrible situation, obviously. So, yeah, that was really amazing. And I got to tell you, a lot of times when I feel something a lot of times I'll feel dizzy. Oh, I was feeling dizzy when Kathy called, and she had said later that her father had dementia. That's how I feel. A lot of times, if somebody has dementia or Alzheimer's, I'll just have to hold on. I'll get real dizzy. So that was what that was. But at any rate, I'll have those feelings. Well, normally what will happen is that once I recognize it and I acknowledge it to the person I'm reading, it goes away. Oh, but this pain in my lung lasted, or actually I thought it was a rib maybe out of place or something, right? It lasted for oh my God, the rest of the day, right? And of course it went away. I knew it would because it always does, but boy, I'll tell you, that was a strong one. That was a strong one. So yeah, so I thought that was really interesting, but they just give me what they give me, right? one time actually, and emotionally, okay, that was a physical ailment. One time, I had an emotional thing happen, which was really interesting. Oh, by the way, you can call in if you'd like to give a reading. I know I had several people calling there, and I can only take one call at a time, so I apologize for that. 818-835-5885 if you'd like to call. But at any rate, the emotional sort of empath that I am picks up that sort of thing too, right? So I did a reading a while ago, I don't know, a month ago or so. And I got up that morning and the reading was scheduled for 10 or 11 o'clock. And I got up really early and I was excited to drink my coffee outside. And sure enough, the lady that I was reading, we have a caller. So, hi there. You're live on the air with Lauri. Who am I speaking to?
This is Kathy Stiles.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Okay.
Good. This is a different Kathy than the other Kathy, correct?
It is. Yes.
Yes.
I'm a different Kathy. That was interesting. Another Kathy. I guess it's a Kathy day.
Yeah, it's a Kathy night. Well, at least I remember everybody's names. I'm terrible with names, so that'll be easy for me to remember. So what can I do for you tonight? Do you have a question? Did you want a reading? What can I do for you?
Well, maybe a reading. My question is just sort of like some guidance for what's next. I feel like something new is coming in, but either one is fine.
Okay. Well, it might tend to be a little bit of both. I'm sensing I feel like it's, I don't think it's a father. I feel like it's a grandfather. It feels like grandfatherly, to you. Do you have a grandfather in spirit?
I have two grandfathers in
spirit. Two grandfathers in spirit. Okay. Were you closer to one than the other? Because there's one that's like, yeah. I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
I'm feeling like light of my life. I'm feeling like big bear hugs, and you were just it to this man, right?
Yeah.
He feels like there's so much love coming from this man, and I feel like that. A lot of times people aren't necessarily vocal about their feelings, but I feel like that I feel like a lot of hugs. Like I feel like you knew that he loved you. He
took me around, and up until I was about 7 or 8, he took me around in his car all the time, and we went all over together.
Oh, I love that. That's so great. Oh, that's so much fun. Grandpas, there's nothing like them, right? Nothing like Grandpa.
Yes.
Okay, so he is here clearly, and I'm asking him because you were talking about what's next kind of thing. So it's a little bit psychic, a little bit medium. And your grandfather, can you tell me what his first name was, by the way? Because he's so sweet, and I want to address him by his first name.
John.
John. Okay. So thank you, John. Thanks for coming through. So John, I feel like is he's like with you a lot. First of all, I feel like that he's with you a lot, and he's with you a lot. Is that true?
Well, I know there's several people with me, so yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, for our purposes right now, I feel like John is with you a lot, and he's bringing up like financial stuff. He's bringing up finances. There's something going on around finances. Isn't there for everybody all the time, of course, but he's bringing up finances. He's talking to me about you being maybe a little aware of some, I don't know if it's like necessarily an investment sort of thing, but it's like you're thinking about using money to do something. Okay. Is that true?
Yes.
Do you know that to be true?
Buy a car, yes.
I'm sorry, what?
To buy a car, a newer car.
Oh, a car. Okay. Because what
and doing that will involve changing some of my money around, and I'll have to do some things in order to do that. So.
Right. Okay. So he's just saying, cross your T's and dot your I's. I think that was an old time saying that they used to do, right? But
yes.
Yeah. He's saying just pay attention to all the small details is what he's telling me. He's talking about how it doesn't feel like it's going to be a bad deal or anything, but be careful of that. Now, I will say that Mercury is going into retrograde, so if you're moving some money around to do this, do it sooner than later. just because of Mercury going into retrograde. That would just be.
When does it come out?
Well, it's going in on December 3rd and comes out on the 23rd. So December.
Yeah, because it'll probably actually be after the 23rd that I would actually do it. So.
Okay, good. I like that. So,
Yeah.
but at any rate, so he's just talking about crossing your T's and dotting your I's, and he feels like, he's talking about how this is a good thing for you to do. I feel like this is kind of how do I want to say that? I want to choose the word properly, but like it's like something new for you to do. Like you don't normally do this kind of thing, but you're doing it, or I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I bought a. I mean, it feels like a big deal to me because I'm partly retired now, and it's a little big. It's like, okay, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course it is. Absolutely. Yeah. And so he's saying, you know what, this is a big deal, but you know what, he's talking about how, what's the word? Organized and, what's the word when you pay attention to detail? What's the word when you're organized and you pay attention to detail? You're really good at that. So he has full confidence in you, he's saying. He has full confidence in you. And you know what? He's saying, and I don't know if he lived like this, but he's saying, you know what? It's good to be like, he's kind of like in the middle of, as far as like a saver versus somebody who's a spendthrift, right? He's kind of in the middle. He's talking to me about how you can't take it with you. You have to enjoy it while you have it. However, you need to save, you need to like be smart about your purchases, and he's like, he was like that. That's what he's telling me anyway. Was he like that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think so. He was not extreme about anything. Mm-hmm. He was,
like middle of the road with right.
Yeah.
So basically that's what he's saying. He's saying that like everything is, everything in moderation, and you're good to go. He's happy with your decisions, and he trusts you. So that's great. So there you go.
All right.
Great. That's fantastic.
Sounds good.
Great. Thank you so much for the call, Kathy. I appreciate it. And thank you. I'm on this kick now. Thank you for trusting me with your loved one. I appreciate that. So.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a great night. Bye-bye. I love that. Seriously, it's just people are so nice. So yeah, thank you, Kathy, for the call, and thanks again for trusting me with your loved one. Yay! And he was so nice, John. I like that. I love when fun, like nice spirits come through. I've had like grumpy ones, but the grumpy ones, I can make anything like happy, I guess, because I'm just happy in life, right? But I don't mind when grumpy people come through, really. Of course, now that I've said that, it's going to happen now, right? But I don't mind when grumpy people come through because I make it light somehow. That's just kind of who I am. But at any rate, so the phone lines are open if you'd like to call, 818-835-5885. And I apologize again for not getting to your call. I can only take one call at a time because it's just me here. Just me. And I run everything. I am multitasking. So at any rate, and here they are. So that's great. Hi there, you're live on the air with Lauri. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Lauri. This is Francesca.
Francesca! Ladies and gentlemen, good friend to Francesca.
Hi, Lauri. I just have been, I love everything you're doing tonight, and I've had such a good feeling about it, and I've had the chills, like constantly, chills. So, and when you were talking about empath, I just felt so connected. So I thought, I have to call.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, because you tend towards that as well, I know.
I know. That's why I felt so part of it tonight.
Yeah.
So I know you're at the end of your show, but I just thought it was so important for me to tell you. I just felt really good, positive energy coming through.
Oh, good.
And, just the chills were like almost like three times. I said, I have to call.
Oh, my gosh. Wow. Well, I guess you were supposed to call. I love that. That's so great. Those are your peeps. Your peeps. Your peeps telling you to call. But you know what's so cool is that you're listening to the message. You're listening, like you felt the chills, so you knew what was going on, and you called because you thought you were supposed to call. So I love that.
Yeah.
Hold on just one second. Your mom, I just need to tell you real quick, your mom is like standing beside me, and she's right here. You know how I am about. So when I give readings, if you come over to my house and we do a reading, they always end up all lining up. Francesca knows this well. They all line up all over the place, right? So anyway, so your mom is standing here, and she is like looking so beautiful, like more beautiful, like, and you know that when they go on the other side, they start to I forget the word I like to use, but they progress on the other side as well, right? So right now, she's showing me that she just has this beautiful dress on, and she is just so happy. It's like, yeah, and she's got, do you have, and I don't remember this and I apologize, but do you have her smile?
I don't think so. My sister does. My sister has her smile.
Really? Because I feel like that I'm looking at her, I can see her face, and I feel like she has this big smile on her face, and I feel like it's your smile.
Wow.
So, but at any rate, maybe it's just towards you. She's just really happy with where you are. She's like really, really happy with where you are in your life right now. She's sort of sending you love. Like tonight's sort of theme is about love, and it's just like love. I feel like she's like you're going to laugh. She's throwing, and I don't know why she's doing this, but she's ornery tonight, which is funny, but she's like throwing stars on you. I feel like she's throwing stars.
Well, that makes me feel good. I was looking at something today that I saw like a ton of really bright stars. So maybe that's what I was thinking. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But that feels good.
That's so cool. That's great. So she was with you at that moment is usually what that means, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so great. That is so cool. That is really great. So she's sending you love, and of course, I send you love too because you're just amazing. You're a wonderful human being. So.
Well, thank you, Lauri. I'm so glad I got in. I was like, I feel so good. You were making me feel very positive.
Good. That's great. Because all of the technical issues are fixed, I came into this show feeling like I hadn't felt yet. And so it feels right to be doing the show. It feels good, So today felt good. So thank you for acknowledging that. I appreciate it.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I think you uplifted my end of the day.
Good. That's good. That makes me feel good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So have yourself a great night and get some rest.
All right. You too, Lauri.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Aw. So that's great. Francesca knows the spirits just line up when she or, when anybody comes over, they just all line up. Whatever, right? It's great. However, it gets the job done, right? So that's kind of the way that goes. The other thing that I wanted to say about sort of how I work, I was talking about the empath and the emotional empath. And actually, I wanted to sort of finish up that story that somebody came over. I had a spirit with me. Again, I was in the grocery store. I think I just attract people at the grocery store or whatever. But so I started feeling that I wanted to get up and go outside and have some coffee and sit in the swing and just sit in the sort of like I have a little piece of sort of Buddha garden outside. And I had to do it. So I ran home and I sat there and just did this. And wouldn't you know, the person I was reading, this lady, or I think it was her mother, I don't remember who it was, mother, grandmother, somebody was like, my mother used to do that. She used to take her coffee and she would go sit out in the garden and listen to the birds and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, well, there you go. That was that, So it can be physical stuff, empath, or it could be, emotional empathy, So it's like, it's just kind of fun, and I just love that. It's so much, it's you never know. Every day is a new day. You never know what's going to happen. You never know where you're going next, right? So, and then lastly, what I wanted to talk about was how I when you develop your gifts, I'm sure that most people that are listening to this have heard of clairvoyance. Okay. So clairvoyance is like kind of when you, in your mind's eye, see somebody or see something, right? So like, I actually saw, that one other spirit, John, right? I saw him standing there. Okay. And I saw him, with his, daughter, whatever, right? So I saw that. Okay. That's clairvoyance. What I normally work out of, and this is where empathy comes into play, is it's not clairvoyance, which I do have is sort of my second clair that I work out of. There's like a whole bunch of clairs, right? But the first one I do is clairsentience, and that is, and I talked about this before, about your gut instinct, right? So if you have a gut instinct and you know that, something's going to happen, or like you get the chills, that's your gut instinct, right? So that's kind of where I started to work from. And that's the one that is sort of my base clair, I guess you could say it. And that's where, like, it's like a knowing. Clairsentience is just like a knowing. Like, I just know stuff. And, I got to talk about, I have 5 minutes left. If somebody wants to call in, you're please feel free to do so. However, I want to talk about the ethics of this. I know stuff sometimes, people, spirit guides give me stuff. My spirit guides give me information. And there's an ethic that goes with that. Because, if I was not if I didn't have integrity, it could be bad. It could be, that's not cool. You don't want to you want to do this for the right reasons. Because I'll tell you what, if people, and I've known this to happen, okay? If you do this for the wrong reasons and you use your gifts for the wrong reasons, spirit will end up taking it away. It will. Because you know what? And some things may happen and that sort of thing. And if you're sort of connected into the darker side of things, maybe spirit won't take away certain aspects of it, but spirit will take away, and and I won't get into that. That's like a whole big conversation that I just sort of opened up there, but I'll get into that some other time because that's a big conversation. But, you just have to have integrity in everything you do in this work, and that's why I like to say I am a happy medium and intuitive, because the way I do things is that I do everything out of love and happy. And I really work hard to stay high on the emotional scale, so to speak, right? Because the more down you are, the lower your vibration is and all that stuff. And we're going to talk about that next week, actually. Next week, I want to talk about gratitude, because of course it's Thanksgiving week, right? But we're going to take gratitude to a different level next week. And as always, I'm going to take calls. I am up and running, and I'm super, super duper duper excited about that. I'm up and running. So next week you can find me here again on Facebook or YouTube, and you can re-listen to this broadcast on YouTube. Or, whatever, if you want to listen next week live, please feel free to do so. And yeah, we're going to take gratitude to a different level next week. So until next week, I wish you all the love and the happy that your little heart can take. And until next time, stay happy, everybody. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching Spiritually Speaking with Lauri Albert.